In this video, I'm going to be giving you a quick overview of the increased or improved services requirements. As per California Education Code, LEAs are required to increase or improve services for unduplicated students as compared to the services provided to all students in proportion to the additional funding provided, meaning the additional funding that's generated by your unduplicated students, and we refer to this as your supplemental and concentration funding. The intent of the increased or improved services requirement is to identify and address the needs of your unduplicated students in order to improve outcomes for these students. There are three things that districts must do in increasing and improving services for your unduplicated students. The first is to identify the needs, conditions, and circumstances of students who are foster youth, English learners, and low income. Second is to identify and implement actions to address the identified needs, conditions, and circumstances, and to demonstrate improved outcomes for these students. A little bit about what we mean by increased or improved. Increased means growing services in quantity. And here's some examples that really have to do with providing additional instruction, whether that be through increasing instructional minutes or provided additional tutoring during the school day or in after-school programs. When we say improved, we mean growing services in quality. That means strengthening services you're already providing. Some examples are listed here. You could improve the quality of your instructional program by providing academic coaches to support your teachers, or by implementing high-quality professional learning for teachers. When you're providing the required descriptions for wide actions, be sure to avoid conclusory statements. A conclusory statement is a statement that makes a generalization without providing an explanation of the facts or data on which the statement is based. Instead, justification for wide actions must first be based on the unique identified needs of the unduplicated student group for which the actions principally directed to serve, rather than the number of unduplicated students in the district. Simply stating that an LEA has a high enrollment of unduplicated students is not sufficient because enrolling students is not the same as serving them. Another example is saying that an action will help make progress towards a goal without making the explicit connection to measurable outcomes based on state and local data and input from your educational partners. Here's an example of a conclusory statement. Feel free to pause the video and read that over, and then I'll go through and show you why it's conclusory. Notice that the reason this is considered a conclusory statement and is not sufficient is because it doesn't identify the unique needs of your unduplicated students. It doesn't describe how the actions are designed to address those needs. It doesn't describe how the actions are intended to achieve progress towards one or more of your LCAP goals. And it doesn't describe how the actions are intended to improve outcomes for the unduplicated student groups to a greater extent than other students that might be served by the action. Instead, it's very general. It doesn't have supporting data to support the statements being made. And notice the last section there really calls out the percentage of students enrolled, and giving this as a reason why the actions will be provided LEA-wide. And remember, that is considered to be conclusory. Contributing actions can be either LEA-wide, which means they're going to be provided to all students in the entire district, regardless of whether or not they're low-income English learners or foster youth. Or an action can be school-wide, provided to all students in a specific school or schools. or limited, which are provided only to students within an identified student group. You'll find videos with examples on how to respond to each one of these types of contributing actions in your LCAP.